current weight, CW, 180, goal weight, 130, starting weight, 200. I'm just all that. What do I do? I've been this way for a week, or been this way for 2 weeks. What am I doing? I'm losing my mind, right? They say stuff like that.
Hey everyone, Dr. Ryan here, and I'm joined by my co-founder, Jameson Day. Today we're addressing a common concern we've heard from many of you: what to do when you hit a weight loss plateau on semaglutide. We know how frustrating it can be, but don't worry, we're here to help you break through those stalls and get back on track.
Yeah, for sure, Dr. Ryan. Weight loss journeys can have the ups and downs, but with the right strategies, you can break through on your plateau, right? So today we'll be discussing how to adjust your dosing, switching up the injection sites, and maybe even potentially switching to tirzepatide, or kind of a faster, more effective weight loss journey with fewer side effects.
Yeah. And many of our community members have shared their experiences with stalling on semaglutide. There are a lot of common issues like not seeing weight loss despite consistent use, increased hunger, and just not being able to tolerate the medication because of the side effects like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, gastritis. How do we get around that? So let's say you want to stick with semaglutide. Well, how about adjusting your dose? So if you're injecting in one area, such as your stomach, try injecting in your thigh or arm. Some people develop like irritation at a particular site, and switching around to different subcutaneous sites can make a big difference. A lot of my patients will do their love handles, will do a couple centimeters away from their belly button. They'll do their thighs, the back of their arms. Just rotating that can help.
If you're working with a physician that is kind of aware of microdosing, right? Adjusting your dosing schedule slightly and splitting into these microdoses 2 to 3 a week can help maintain consistent levels in the body and reduce side effects, right? So we have a philosophy of microdosing just to allow kind of a more consistent delivery, but also to zero out any side effects, right? And so that has kind of helped us, right? But there are some nuances with adjusting up or down your dose to help out with regard to breaking out and stall semaglutide stall.
Yeah. And remember, it's not the drug, it's the dose when it comes to semaglutide typically.
100%.
And so try to use a dose where you will get some hunger restriction, but you won't get as many side effects. And I typically find that a lot of patients, when they first come to me, if they've used semaglutide in the past and had a bad experience with it, it's usually because they were using too high of a dose. And so rather than ramping up to 2.4, you may be able to be okay with like 1 milligram a week or 0.5 milligram a week.
Yeah, some of our clients do really well with 0.3 milligram. They're my greatest again. And it's interesting, right? Because the base Ozempic pens are very rigid, and sometimes the pens are not available. And so that's why, compound semaglutide is phenomenal, because you can have these microdoses and you can kind of make this dynamic adjustment, right?
Exactly. And you have a lot more clarity in terms of the dose that you want to use. You have a lot more choice, right? Sure. And so if 0.5 was too high, but 0.25 is too low, well, you could try 0.3, you could try 0.4. Exactly. I think that is one of the biggest benefits of the compounded versions of semaglutide.
Right. And remember, we're not talking about ml, and this is not medical advice by any means. We're talking about 0.5 milligrams, right? 0.1. Mm-hmm. Every compound pharmacy's dosing varies, right? So you be sure to kind of talk to your healthcare provider and look at your bio before making these adjustments.
Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about tirzepatide. So this medication is gaining a lot of popularity secondary to its dual action, in which it targets both GLP-1 and GIP receptors. So this means it can provide more robust appetite suppression and enhance weight loss with less side effects compared to semaglutide.
Yeah. So when we see this case, probably 70% of our clients that have switched to tirzepatide have broken through the plateaus, right? And they've gotten weight loss way faster, which is super interesting. So it not only helps with appetite control, but it's also shown to kind of reduce side effects in comparison to semaglutide, right? Nausea, patient, or sensitivity to smells, right? That gets reduced. And that's a huge game changer for a lot of our female clients.
Yeah, it's primarily due to GIP, or glucose-dependent insulinotropic peptide, which has been shown to reduce some of the issues in regards to gastritis or heartburn, right? Adding that in really makes a big difference. The other thing that I did also want to mention, I forgot to mention with semaglutide is, let's say you're on a lower dose that doesn't give you side effects, but your hunger's not well controlled. Now, this is a simple thing, but you got to remember, you got to eat enough too. Yeah. So make sure you're getting like your 2 to 3 meals a day, and then reassess whether or not the dose is right for you. If you're not eating enough and you're feeling hungry, well, semaglutide is only going to work so much. So make sure you're getting an appropriate amount of calories for yourself and for your activities of daily living.
and focusing on that protein source. Really eat the protein first, right? Really get those protein nutrients in.
And you kind of mentioned how tirzepatide really has helped a lot of our patients break through some weight loss plateaus. It offers many advantages: faster weight loss, fewer gastrointestinal side effects. And the other point that I thought was kind of interesting is a lot of our patients have reported feeling more energetic and feeling, better on tirzepatide versus semaglutide. I suspect it's due to the fact that GIP does mediate some of those side effects or modulate some of those side effects, but, some people just do better with it.
Yeah, because a lot of our female clients sometimes complain about just sitting around and not wanting to do anything when they first start microdose semaglutide. And so we have not seen that fatigue, that want to be productive. We've not seen that with microdose tirzepatide.
The key thing to remember is everyone's different. So it's important to work with your personal healthcare provider to determine the best approach for you. So if you found these tips helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more insights on your weight loss journey. And if you have any more questions or want to share your progress, leave a comment below. We love hearing from you.